Hello everybody, this is Jacob Lawler, your Business Development Manager for First Team Rossmoor, here with a how-to video on how to get an open house. Now really the objective of this video is to walk you through the steps that you can take to virtually guarantee that you get an open house for the week, even if it's not from someone who is within your same office or even within the same company. So you can really hold any listing open that's really on the market so long as you have the listing agent's permission and ultimately the seller's permission to do so. So I want to really preface this how-to video with don't wait until Thursday or Friday to set your open house for that weekend. I mean, by that time, all the good open houses are taken, and really the ones that you would get, you really don't want to have. So make it a point to start Monday. Start the beginning of the week setting your open house for that next weekend. Again, don't wait until Thursday or Friday because it's not going to work out for you. Also understand that it's hard in the beginning. I mean, when you're just getting into the business, nobody knows who you are. Nobody really owes you anything. So it's going to be a lot more difficult to set an open house. So that being said, I mean, you're going to have to call more people than you think you need to. Don't get stuck at, after calling 6 people and 6 people tell you no. I mean, you start saying, oh man, I can't get an open house this week. Say that maybe after 60, but not 6. So just understand that also this is not going to be how to find the perfect open house. In the beginning, your main goal should be to get an open house, period. Then once you get into the routine of actually getting them on a routinely basis, start actually whittling it down to find out how can you target a better open house so that you can get better results. But again, this one is how to actually get an open house and how to target them. Anyway, so what we're going to do here is in order to find out how to get an open house, we're in our MLS right here from PWR on Matrix, and we're going to go to residential detail search. First thing you want to do, again, search for active properties. Then I always recommend picking at least one city, maybe 2 cities to look for, but we're going to go to Huntington Beach because we want to look for a property in Huntington Beach. Now at this point, you can do all the refinements in the world to strategically target exactly where you want to go. But what I would recommend first is starting off with active, whatever the city is, and then down to the bottom, there is a function called additional fields right here. And you're going to go down to here because we're going to add 2 additional fields to make it a lot easier for you to get an open house. First thing, we're going to look for listing office name. So this is where you can actually pinpoint an office. So you can say if you want all of first team listings only, you can add that in here. So we're going to add listing office name, and we're also, the most important one is occupant type. So we're going to add occupant type over here. And then we're going to click back, and we're going to take us back to that search parameter where, again, we're still active properties in Huntington Beach, and we're going to scroll down to the bottom here. And now you'll see down here you have 2 additional fields, listing office name and occupant type. Now, the most important one you want to click is vacant properties, because it's always easier for you to get an open house at a vacant listing, because at this vacant listing, the listing agent doesn't have to go to the sellers and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, would you mind getting out of your house this weekend so that somebody who I've never met before can hold it open? I mean, it's a little bit more difficult. So in the very beginning, I would definitely recommend targeting vacant listings. So if you see it brought down the searches to 91 matches. Now at this point, you can go to the map up here and now more strategically target where you want to work. So maybe instead of working all of Huntington Beach, if you're focusing mainly on this northern part of Huntington Beach, or maybe you're working down in the southern part of Huntington Beach, you can do that and kind of pinpoint which area you want to work by obviously using these tools here that you can actually draw a square, and I just want to work North Huntington Beach, so it cuts out these bottom ones down here. But anyway, let's say we're working North Huntington Beach, and we're going to go back down to criteria, and we can see that there's still 33 matches. So if you say I don't want to call 33 people, I only want to call first team agents, you have to type in first team and then the asterisk. Don't ask me why the asterisk is needed, but you do. So if anyone knows, please comment down below so that I can at least know. But if you can see, this goes down to 3 matches now for first team agents that are vacant listings. You can go to results, and you can see, hey, there's 3 listings here. So now let's take first team out, because I want to see and show you how you can just call a huge number of people all at one time. So again, this is back to 33, because in the beginning you may have to call more people than you initially would like to. But we're going to check what we're going to actually do in order to see the smallest view possible that also shows the listing agent's name and number is a display called Agent Short Office. So what you can do in this is just at a glance, you can see what the property is, who the agent's name is, and how to contact that agent here. Okay, so what you can do here is either it'll have the show phone, it'll have the listing agent's cell, or the listing office phone number, depending upon what that agent has listed on the MLS. So what you can literally do is just go down this list one at a time, calling each person, 33 people, until you get an open house. Now that is the easiest way on how to get an open house initially. Now, what I would recommend you guys do is, number one, go down this list, call the people, try to get an open house in the beginning. Beggars can't be choosers in the beginning, but ultimately your ideal would be to get more targeted open houses. So what you can do here is you can go into the map search, back to where we went before, and you can actually click on these one at a time and actually view the property itself. And let's just say that you went through these and you've targeted really 3 or 4 that you want to call. So you can click this button up here to select the individual properties. And let's say that you've previewed this one, you previewed this one, and this one, and this one, and this one here. So out of those original 33, there's 5 of them that you would really ideally like to make. So you go back to results, and then down here at the bottom, there is something called refine. So initially we have 33 results here, but we're going to go to refine and click narrow. And when you click narrow, it's going to take the original 33 and only show the 5 that you want to target. So if you want to first go to the refined version and do the 5, and hopefully you can get it there, by all means do so. But ultimately in the beginning, it's going to be difficult to get it. Now, people always ask, well, how do I ask for an open house? And they put together some fancy complex script and all of that, but don't make it more complicated or more complex or more difficult than it needs to be. I mean, agents know why you want to hold the house open. So you don't have to explain to them the benefits of, I'm going to put out all of these signs and I'm going to drive traffic to your open house and I'm really going to help you sell this property. The agent knows why you want to be there, and you know why the agent wants you there. I mean, the agent's probably had the listing for a while and no longer wants to hold it open himself, or maybe who knows why. But anyway, don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. So I really have a 4-step process in order to get an open house. I mean, the first one is really just point blank asking, hey, do you need anybody to hold it open this weekend? I mean, again, it's Monday, you're calling ahead of time, hey, do you need anybody to hold it open this weekend? You don't have to make it more complicated than that. If they say no, no, I already got somebody holding it open, then you go to step 2, which is, okay, perfect, well, how about next weekend? Do you already have next weekend set up? So you're calling ahead of time, because it's a lot easier to get an open house 2 weeks in advance than even 1 week in advance. Because most agents, you'll learn to know this, most agents don't think ahead. We're always constantly working in the urgent or the scrambling for the now open house. So if you call and try to set it for 2 weeks in advance, it may be a lot easier. If they say no to that, you can go to step 3, which is, okay, perfect, well, how about during the week? Now again, because you're calling on vacant listings, it's a lot easier to hold open houses during the week, because again, there are no occupants. There's no seller living there that they have to convince to get out of their house on a Wednesday afternoon. Again, most agents don't like to hold open houses during the week. So again, that's another value proposition that you offer. How about during the week? And then ultimately, if they say, no, I just don't like you, I only allow agents in my office to hold this listing open, really the 4th step that most agents forget to do, but this is a huge benefit as far as really getting hooks for your eventual open house, is the 4th step, which is, okay, perfect, I totally understand. Do you have anything new coming up that when I do have my open house this week, I could potentially let these buyers know about? Again, that's to help you build your base of off-market listings. If you end every single conversation with, do you have anything new coming up that I can let my buyers know about, you'll start to develop a list of these properties that are off-market that can really help you convert these prospects at the actual open house. So really during this process, really focus on, again, the main things for you to remember is you want to go to the search, detail search. Again, make sure down at the bottom you add the 2 categories, listing office name and occupant type. Really focus on going for vacant listings in the beginning. You're going to have to call more people than you think you need to. Start off with active properties in a city, only because if you just say all active properties and go to the map and try to finalize it there, there's going to be way too many properties for you to try to dictate and try to figure out where you want to go. So again, criteria, settle it down for a city, Huntington Beach, or wherever it is that you want to work. Then you can go to the map. Then you can refine where you want to work. And then ultimately, vacant listings are going to be the easiest for you to get. Call more people than you think you need to. Use that 4-step process, which is, again, do you need anybody holding it open this weekend? Step 2, which is how about next weekend? Step 3 is, okay, fine, how about during the week? If after all of that, if all else fails, do you have anything new coming up that I can let my buyers know about? So again, I hope this was helpful as far as how to get an open house, how to secure an open house. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and hope this served you. So good luck and have that open house. See ya.